everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'll be showing you basically how to create this simple sun and cloud. It's time for some CSS art. Come on, so let's create this together. So I'll open one of my folders in VS Code, and what I'll do is I'll just create the file sun and cloud.html, and then here I'll create HTML structure, and then I will just put sun and cloud, and then within the body I'll create 3 different div classes. So the first div, I'll give it a class of scene. This one is going to have all the other divs, and then the other div, I'll give it a class of sun, and then still within the div scene class, I'll create another div and I'll give it a class called cloud. So now we have this. Let me open with live server, and then we write the CSS while you're seeing side by side. All right, now that you can view all the other, you can see this is just our HTML. So for this particular example, I'm going to use internet CSS. So I'll say here CSS sun, and then just below the title, I'm going to create my style tag. And then inside the style tag, let's first style the other elements, and then after we shall generalize it and put the body, we give it some class. So I'll start with the first class, which is scene. I'll first give it a width 400 pixels. I'll give it a height of 400 pixels. I'll give it a position relative, margin 100 pixels auto, and then I'll give it a background, and I'll give it a light blue color, which is the color of the sky. So this is our scene. So our cloud and sun will be in between. So the next thing is, let us style the sun class. So I'll just say sun. I'll give it a width. For now, let's give it 100 pixels, and then we can increase it later if we want to. So let's do 100 pixels. I'll give it a height as well of 100 pixels. And then I am going to give it a background of yellow, since our sun is yellow. So I'll just say yellow. And then I'll give it a border radius of 50%, probably, since we know the sun is circular. And then I'll give it a position of absolute. And then top, I'll give it 20 pixels. And then left, I'll give it 20 pixels. Now, this is what we have. The next thing is we are going to style our next class, which is cloud. So just copy this, and then I will paste it there. So I'll give cloud a width of 120 pixels. I'll give it a height of 60 pixels. I'll give it a white background, since clouds are white, so that is F. And then I'll give it a border radius of 60 pixels. I'll give it position absolute. So you can see it has moved forward. And then I'll give it top 80 pixels. And then I'll give it left 80 pixels. So that is what we have. Now let us style the cloud so that it looks like real cloud. So to do that, we are going to give it a pseudo class for the cloud. So I will go back and I'll say class cloud. And then I give it a pseudo class of before, comma, and then also again, I'll say the class cloud, and then after. So here I am going to give it content, which is going to be an empty string for now, and then position absolute. Then I'll give it a background of white as well, which is F. And then I'll give it a border radius of 50%. So after that, I am going to take a lone cloud before. So I'll just copy this. Class. So come here and say class before. So we are going to give it width, height, top, and then just position it. So I'll give it a width of 60 pixels, and then I'll give it a height of also 60 pixels, and then I'll give it top. We want it to be up in the top, so I'm going to give it a negative 30 pixels. And then we can move it to the left and I'll give it 20 pixels. So now after that, let's do the same for cloud after. So I will give it a width of 70 pixels. I'll give it a height of 70 pixels. I'll give it a top of -40. And then I'll give it right 20 pixels. So when you refresh, you can see that is our cloud and that is what we have. So when I open it in a big screen, this is how it shows. Now let us change the entire background into blue. So I will just go here and I'll style the body and I'll give it a background, and that is the sky background color. And that is what we'll have. So guys, basically this is how to play around with CSS and just create something cool. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.